Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Live and direct. Savage Sports fan, please like, share, subscribe. We're a new channel trying to get up and crack it. All the new subscribers, thanks for the love and support. Drop a comment, hit the bell notification so you can find out when all the new videos drop. Share a video and let's get right into it. Listen, if you didn't know, I'm very, very, very fond of Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. What he did out here in Colorado is commendable. So this is a Deion Sanders network, if you did not know. But we have to be fair and balanced here. We have to be fair and balanced. It's the end of the year. I coined the phrase Sad Clown Saturday. When Deion and Colorado wins, the clowns are sad. It's usually the game's on a Saturday, so it's Sad Clown Saturday. So you do know the last few weeks it's been Happy Clown Saturday. But, it's the end of the year. And we have to address a lot of things. Everybody's Deion's Coach Prime is getting a lot of criticism online, a lot of haters. Everybody's out. I said this. When they were 3-0, I said they love you, Deion, but wait till you start losing. They're going to really tell you how they feel about you. You really going to find out who's really with you. So some people showed who they were. Some people, came right on the closet with that hate. So I want to talk about, why. I hope somebody can get this to Deion. I'm pretty sure he knows a lot of this stuff. Listen, it's his first year in Colorado. The coaching staff's first year in Colorado. The players, the first year together. It's going to be mistakes made. It's going to be mistakes made. The only difference is he's on the grand stage. Everybody sees them every week. They're super active on social media. He films everything. So when things are going great. But when things go bad, it goes bad. But I want to address a few things. It's the end of the year. They got one more game against Utah. I don't think, it's going to be a tough one. Utah is not, that's if they can win that game, great. But no one's expecting them to win. So I was just doing a lot of research comparing last year's Colorado team to this year's Colorado team and a few years prior to that. And I think what Coach Prime and them are not looking at is, from a football perspective, this is pretty much the same team from last year. They gutted out a lot of players, but they pretty much got the same results in comparison to what they had last year. So if you take away the TCU win, which is a shock, you take away the Nebraska win, Nebraska fell off the football map. And then the ASU, the Arizona State, they came back in the fourth quarter to get that win. Those are 3 wins. If they did not get those 3 wins, man, this team could honestly really be in the same position they were last year, which was 1-11. Those, when you look at the stats, their defense, they're last. They're protecting the quarterback, their pressures, their offense, they don't run the football well. So I want to talk about why everybody hates Deion Sanders and why he's getting a lot of hate. Some he deserves, some he doesn't deserve. It's like anything else in life. It's 50-50. But what I'm seeing is, he took a very arrogant position when he came in. First thing, he took a very arrogant position when he met with the team from last year, when he told them they need to hit the transfer portal. He's bringing his own luggage, yada, yada. There's plenty of videos out there. The stance he took coming out the gate was, I'm kind of shocked. That's something I don't even see pro football coaches take that type of position. That's a very harsh position to take on some young kids. So I don't think Coach Prime realized this is a different generation. Times have changed. Everybody did not raise their kids to have thick skin. So a lot of grown-ups don't have thick skin. So some business executives don't have thick skin. So he's talking as if he's speaking to his buddies who are all in the Hall of Fame. And some of them still may not have, thick skin. But you see what I'm saying? That's a different generation. That is only a small percentage of men in the world who can really take that hard criticism. It's not his job to teach them how to have thick skin. He's trying to get them to raise their expectation, their level of thinking, their level of play, yes. But I think his approach out the first day was just wrong. And that video went viral everywhere. So now people are kind of looking for him to fall on his face. But that's before the season started. That's before recruitment. That's before the portal. That's before everything. That's everything. And that's his, hey, listen, everybody has their own coaching style. That's his choice. But we are talking about a different generation here. But, so now you look into how he wants to relate to these young people. This is Savage Sports Fan. Please like, share, subscribe. Listen, I felt like Deion really kind of overdid it with the gold chains, with the hats, with the glasses. I mean, I wear glasses. I mean, I wear sunglasses all the time, but I think he thought that's how you relate to some of these players. Yeah, if you're in a different part of the world. I think Colorado's more of a fluent, intellectual, liberal, more free-minded, more intellectual stimulation, intellectual curious type of part of the world. Even though these kids are transferring in, the culture of Colorado, smoking weed, open-minded, I just think that if you look at the average young person, they're into video games and sneakers. It's more sneakerheads. I can't tell them how to dress. I can't tell them what to do. I'm just giving my opinion. I just feel like some of the people might have related to that, but a lot of people, that younger generation, they into video games. They're into sneakers. They into designer drugs. I mean, let's just keep that thing 100. But I just think that the relatability, he just looked like a big kid, in my opinion. I just think that at times, it was just a little bit overdone of trying to connect to younger players. I'm like, what type of person are you connecting to? It's a lot of younger players that play football that are like science majors, medical majors, the next doctor, but he just plays football. He used to be a football player for the Minnesota Vikings. I think his name was Robert Smith. He was a running back. He retired early. He was a doctor. He was a stone cold intellectual, but he just was amazing at football. You have the next Robert Smith, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, on Colorado. And it's okay. Listen, you're not stereotyping because they wear gold chains and sunglasses. I'm just saying in that particular culture, I just think it kind of, to connect to young people, I just think it was a little bit over the top. And which leads me to what I'm hearing behind the scenes. I'm hearing behind the scenes, my crack research staff, it was a lot of local celebrities who felt like, Coach Prime and his team just kind of pushed them to the side. You know how you go to some concerts and you see the local acts like open up before the main act comes on? Everybody locally know that's that person's big chance to kind of like be seen by a different audience. And any major entertainer always comes to town. They always have the locals or somebody that they're trying to bring up. They open up for them. And what I'm hearing in Colorado is like the local football player, the local teacher, the local musicians, all the locals, the local celebrities who tried to reach out to Colorado, they never responded to them, which is their choice. They saw The Rock come there. I saw Wu-Tang Clan on the sideline. They saw Kelly Roll. They saw Mike Vick. They saw every single Emmitt Smith. Every single major celebrity came and just, shined in Boulder, brought a different light to Boulder, and all the locals were just kind of pushed to the side. So when the locals would try to reach out to Coach Prime, they had no time for them. So I think what has happened is Coach Prime, and this may not be Coach Prime, he's a busy coach. He ain't got time to be, vetting who's popular local, who's the local football player. But the people around them underestimated how these local celebrities, they got big voices in the community. They can get on the radio. They can get on the vlogs. They can get on TV And they can kind of sway the locals to love or hate you. So when they shunned them off, the locals just kind of, hey, when they were winning, great. But when they started losing, all the locals that got pushed to the side, behind the scenes, they were running their mouth. They used their only power, and that was to really just kind of start telling people, this team ain't really no different than last team. We just got a celebrity running the team. That's it. So now you're starting to have people work against you in the community. So I think they really didn't take that serious enough. Maybe it's year one, something that could be correctable in year two. The local football player, every team has every single team you go in this world, they had a local that was there before you. There was the best quarterback. He had the best passing rate, the best running back, the coach that brought them to, the division championship, the high school player of the year. Every city has that. So he didn't embrace that community. He didn't embrace that community. So it almost seemed like he was just a celebrity getting photo ops. I'm just telling you what I heard. So now the locals are like, hey, listen, they're going to give this thing one more year. But listen, they are not responsible for hiring, firing, because, the AD makes that choice. But the AD is going to listen to the locals. Why? Because they buy and support the tickets. They buy the merch. They go to the game. They make the experience. It's a college town. They're the ones in the stands. They're going to have some say so. Listen, you need to get rid of this guy. So that's what we're hearing behind the scenes, is he took a very arrogant, and listen, like I said, he's a coach. He's got many hats. He got a lot of things. They're building a program. When you're building a program and you set on winning, that's going to rub some people the wrong way because you're going to do things your way. You're trying to create your own culture. So these are things that are like not new, but you are the head man in charge. You are the head dude in charge. So that's, you want the community to be with you. Look how long the Chicago Cubs were the Chicago Cubs, but the fan base was still with them. They never abandoned them. So that's what's happening. Look at the Chicago Bulls. The Bulls for the last 10 years were always number one in attendance. Michael Jordan ain't played in 20 years. D Rose ain't been on the team in 10 years. But the team, the fans have always been with the teams. Now, the Chicago Bulls have slipped to number eighth in attendance. That's making the owners make a change. For the first time, now the Chicago Bulls we got to break this team up. Why? No one's coming to the games. You're number one. Now you're number 8. I'm just saying. This happens to everybody. It's the numbers, and there's always the numbers, especially when you're dealing with owners. Now you're looking at Colorado. I think the fans will never abandon Colorado football. They'll abandon that coaching staff, and they will definitely abandon that head coach. So that is something I think that they really need to look into. And last but not least, I just think that a lot of the locals feel like Coach Prime and his staff are just using them for their next big gig. The Texas job opening is open. And what happens? Soon as it opened, everybody say, Coach Prime should leave. Stephen A. Smith. Everybody saying, oh, man, you should leave. That's easy to say, but look at all of the locals who bought into Coach Prime, who bought into that program, who still showed up when they were losing, who was there at homecoming when they got beat. Look at all the locals who really gave this thing a chance. As soon as something don't go right and something becomes more sexier, your name is there. Yes, he came out in 24 hours to kind of dispel that. But people still heard it, and you're going to always hear it. But when you're dealing with someone who just came into the community, who's flashy and this and somewhat arrogant, it's going to always be on people's mind. Is this guy just using us? If he's just giving us a kind job, are we just a stepping stone? And that he needs to really work hard in the community to let them know I'm here for the long run. He has no power over if they're going to fire him or whatever, or get rid of them. It's going to be some changes in Boulder. It's going to be more stories to come out. You know, Sean Lewis is going to move on and get another job. He's up at Syracuse, a few other jobs. Michigan, it's a lot of stuff that's going to come out once the season is officially over. But the people that's spending the money, they're going to have a lot of, you know, are we buying in the next year or not? We'll give this thing another shot. But it's just, when you look at all the moving parts, it's just, you know, the recruitment, the mismanagement. A lot of running backs didn't play. They had some really good run. They're last in rushing, from my understanding, and they got some really good running backs. The coaches he brought in, the lack of it's just so many issues that I'm shocked that Coach Prime is having these issues, because Mike Zimmer is his right-hand man, and Mike Zimmer was the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings for years. He was the defensive coordinator in Cincinnati under Marvin Lewis. He knows how to run a team. I'm shocked that Coach Zimmer didn't say, you guys don't have a backup quarterback? This can't be real. You guys are not rotating these running backs to keep them fresh? This can't be real. You guys are not using a split set. You guys are not. It was so many things. You would have thought people on this coaching staff have never ran a team before. I mean, Sean Lewis was a coach. So I think the Sean Lewis story is a little bit more. He probably saw a lot of things that he just said, I'm not getting any credit, but this team behind the scene is ran so dysfunctional. And I think that's where he checked out. Everybody wanted to blame Sean, but I think Sean saw some things behind the scenes he probably can't say because he don't want to hurt his next coaching position. But I wouldn't be shocked 10 years down the road when he quit, he'll write a book, My 1 Year at Colorado under Coach Prime, and it's going to be a lot of things he probably talk about, or a lot of things in group chat they've already talked about that will mysteriously leak over the summer or over the fall, over next year. I mean, when the season's over, early next year, you'll start hearing a lot of different stories. So I don't think people should be jumping on him as much as they have. So a lot of dysfunction for a Hall of Famer who ran a team last year who had a lot of success. I think this is why, oh, by the way, Jackson State they have a better record. They have a better record than them. They're in a different conference. They're in a different thing. Jackson State, wouldn't it be great if Jackson State played Colorado next year? Wouldn't that be amazing? If Colorado played Jackson State, that'd be amazing. But you ran an organization that did very, very well. A team, you went undefeated, you exceeded expectations. And for you to come over here to Colorado and then have these kind of problems is the reason why people are kind of looking at them like, man, this can't be true. So, I don't know. Listen, we're always going to support Deion. We want him to do the best. He's our brother. No one's above critique like ourselves. I do think a lot of his coaches were leaking plays to the other team. It was a lot of stacked up against them. So maybe we're listening to everybody else. And like I said, Coach Prime is so classy, he's not going to throw everybody under the bus. So we don't know if it was more leaks than we knew about. And he just did the team, it could be a situation where his team and his staff was just focused on killing stories and making sure certain things didn't leak, is why maybe they didn't get back to a lot of these people that wanted to be seen. They're not in the entertainment business. We know that. But it's always local politics. It's always politics. If you're going to take a job like this and you're an outsider, it's always going to be some form of politics. And I think at the end of the day, if you're not winning, the politics can overshadow who you are as a person and your organization and derail the mission. So this is why I'm thinking, everybody's hating on Coach Prime. You're not winning, and all the mismanagement and this and that. But like I said, it's year one. You're trying to build a program. You're trying to build a culture. You need the right coaches, the right players. This is what it looks like. Building is not pretty. It's a hard build. It's an easy build. But when you got TV networks and conferences stacked against you, it can kind of make you look crazy out here. So this just might be a premature conversation because, like I said, we're hearing one side of the story. We're not hearing anything from Coach Prime and probably won't. They're just too classy to even waste their time with a lot of this stuff. But I'm just trying to paint a picture on, both sides and try to be fair and balanced. Did he do some things wrong? Yes, we all have. But the other side is going to tell you your perspective, but they're never going to tell you what they did wrong. They just want you to focus on why you should hate Coach Prime and why you should run him out. But at the end of the day, they won 3 more games than they did last year. So let's be thankful for what we do have versus what we don't. They lost to ASU last year. They would have lost that game more than likely. They beat TSU. Hey, a win is a win. That person they were in a bowl game. That's not a bum program. And Nebraska has always had a history of being, good running game, beating people. So 4 is better than 1. They made progress, but it's a lot more work that needs to be done. So drop a comment. Why do you think people are hating on Deion? He is a Hall of Famer. He has a pretty, fiance. He has beautiful kids. He's a dad. He's showing young men, you could be a part of something. Go out, go to school. You don't have to be on a program like this or football, but you do matter if you go to college. He set that example. He has done some things correct. Jason Whitlock just thinks that Deion just burning crosses and with fires on all the campus. I mean, it's just, if you listen to Whitlock, they sacrificing puppies every day. So it's always going to be clowns out there like that. He has a show. He has to get his ratings like everybody else. So it is what it is. But at the end of the day, they did make progress. And Colorado is on a national stage. People know them. People are going to root for them. People are going to hate them. And he did affect young people a little bit more positive than what they try to portray. It's people that's going to ride for him. So let's not overlook the haters. Let's not overlook no one's talking about. He is a black coach. He is a black coach. I know they don't want to talk about the R word. Don't bring that card in. Don't bring the race card. Well, you don't want to talk about it, which makes it a little bit more racist, is the fact you're trying to ignore the fact that he was, for the first 6 weeks of college football, the face, the story, the machine. Everyone waited on what start time the game was going to be there. He was overshadowing a lot of these big programs with big recruits. He pushing 10 million viewers per week. He was helping out a lot of these struggling schools that were broke. Kids don't want us to go to school. Recruits that was playing well but not getting no shine. Colorado was their Super Bowl. Colorado coming to town. You got great recruits over there that nobody's watching. Now you're on stage with Colorado. 10 million people are watching. Colorado was everybody's Super Bowl, and it was a black man leading that. Let's not overlook that. Let's not overlook that. That rubbed the establishment the wrong. They tolerated it. And then they said, you know what? Enough of this. We got to stop this. And that's when the information sharing came. That's when, you ain't doing it. That's when the buzzwords start saying. That's when, the hate train, the perfume and the cologne everybody put on called jealousy came out. Let's pull that jealousy off the table. Out of the closet and put it on my suit and put it on my shirt. And I'm going to wear it every day. Everybody going to smell. And the jealousy game just came out and they going to do what they do. So let's not overlook the racial aspect of it. Let's not overlook that. When you look at all those other white coaches who were not happy, no one was talking about their recruits. And they might have had a great point. There's some great teams out there. We just saw the Oregon Ducks do what they do. Washington doing what they do. UCLA fell off and USC fell off. ASU is ASU. But at the end of the day, they wasn't talking about Alabama. Wasn't nobody sitting up waiting on Alabama games on ESPN. They were waiting on Coach Prime. So he made a lot of money for a lot of people. He's going to get another opportunity somewhere down the road. But at the end of the day, I think he does need to make some adjustments. This is just a different generation of players. Warren Sapp and some pros coming on his staff, they will kind of massage his message a little bit different. They'll probably give the same message. It'll just have a different delivery. And that's probably, I think, what is needed. It's just his voice. It's nobody else there on the stage with him or after him to really convey that same message that Coach Prime is giving. Just a different tone, a different style. Year 2, you will probably see a lot of that. But let's not overlook, and I'm not trying to lead this message on, they just hating on him because he's a black man. He made a ton of mistakes. He's trying to build culture. Him and his son, they're trying to do it. They're trying to put it out there. They're trying to compete. It's not going to be pretty. So at the end of the day, we always going to love and support Coach Prime. We can't support everything he does, but we got love for him. We want to see him win. But we must be fair and balanced that here's some changes that need to be made, like in all things in life. So the haters are going to hate. I wish them the best of luck in Utah. I wish them the best of luck. It's a lot of other critiques and criticisms of them out there. People being petty. I'm not going to address all that. People doing 2-hour shows on how they hate that man. And he has made and paved the way for a lot of people to have YouTube channels, a lot of people to have reporting jobs, a lot of people to have photography jobs, a lot of people to really be seen and heard. He's feeding you. And they turn around and they're biting their hand to feed him. Hey, listen, he's a public figure. Everybody's entitled to their position. 2 hours on what you hate about a person is pointless to me. You can tell me everything he did wrong. You can't tell me everything that he did right. So let me know it is a lot of bias towards him. And we won't say the R word. We won't bring that up. But it's a little of that. And some of it is warranted. I have said that. But a lot of it, just a little bit excessive if you ask me. I think he should give Colorado another 3-4 years. 2 years is not enough. You're trying to build a culture in the program. But if you 1-11 next year, we're going to have a conversation. You can't be 1-11 with a phenomenal quarterback like his son. We need to give a shout out to his son. His son broke a lot of records. His son's playing on defense. No one's talking about how they play very, very, very well. They cannot do it by themselves. His sons are not, they're going at his dad, but they're not talking about his son, his quarterback, who's breaking all these records. You feel me? They ain't got no smoke for Shador like that. They ain't got no smoke for his sons playing defense. So they just want to focus on the negative, but it was some positive to the season. And like I said, he's already won. You cannot judge Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, a.k.a. Prime, the playmaker. They name TV shows out of him on his win and losses because he's seeing the world with his sons, showing them what the possibilities are. Every day, one day we all going to transition, and his sons will remember this the rest of their life, that they traveled the world and started building something with their father. And they brought a lot of young kids along also who don't have a father. Nobody's perfect here. People make mistakes, but let's not act like that does not matter, that a black man is leading and showing them the world how to be successful and how to make things happen, how to build something, how to be a part of something in the United States of America. Anyway, Savage Sports fan, thank you. Drop a comment, share the video. Thank you. We almost at 1,000. Listen, I started this channel in July. I think I ordered up a video in maybe May or June. I didn't come back till like July. So we're almost at 1,000. We're trying to get there. We got a lot of other stuff going. NBA is here. I got access to a lot of NBA players. I will be at a lot of NBA tournament games. We'll be dropping some NBA stuff very soon. We will be at a lot of bowl games. We're going to bring a few bowl games here. So the visuals will be intact every week coming forward. Nevertheless, enjoy the holidays. Stay safe. Stay pretty. Stay smiling. Don't let them steal your personality. If you ain't got haters, what did Kobe say? Haters hate on the good ones. They hate on the great ones. They don't hate on the good ones. So don't sweat the small stuff. Until next time, I'm out.